I suppose we all associate tattoos with different things, and I was brought up in a seaside fishing port, so, you know, you think pirates and sailors. I would honestly say that I had a slight fear of people with tattoos. Oh, what stereotype do you think you live up to?
Al, well, as you can probably tell, I'm pretty covered in tattoos. Being a tattoo artist and being covered in tattoos, I think people would be like, oh, he's probably a party goer, like into drugs, into drink, whatever, like a maniac, whatever. If you're obviously probably not into tattoos, but like you probably see them, probably might have that idea.
I'm not sure what he might have thought of me, but I probably thought, oh my God, this is my worst nightmare.
I'm not used to meeting stereotypical people, for example, the way you describe yourself.
Yeah.
I don't have family members, for example, who are inked in any way.
Yeah.
And yes, maybe we're all inclined to go down a road where we judge and think, oh, God. We would have considered people with tattoos as being rough or unacceptable, not just like what one might term regular society. That must be a, you know, a ne'er-do-well, you know. We wouldn't have him in our hotel or...
When he said they were like near-do-well, I was like, I don't know what that word means. Kind of went over my head a little bit, but I knew it wasn't positive.
Well, people look at me and they probably, and with some justification, they think a bit flamboyant, well-dressed, conservative, probably gay. And that's a stereotype too.
I myself, I know I'm like very hardworking, and people who have like certain ideas and views on like my body or whatever I do with myself it's almost like invasive. I literally don't do anything. I don't do drugs, don't drink, don't smoke. So I don't even drink fizzy drinks most of the time as well. So I'm very reserved, I think, as well. Do you think you like have these conceived notions about people who are like heavily tattooed or have body modifications from society, or do you think that is a kind of more like a internal thing?
It's a bit of both, because society teaches us to think a certain way about certain people. And in my life, in my kind of career, the way I do things, and thank you, the people I mix with, it's so alien to me to encounter people like you. And for me, sometimes it also means me just blocking you out completely in terms of maybe opportunity or possibility, because you might come in to meet and I might say, oh, that's a no-no. Because I immediately judge
on the tattoos. And would you like think that would be like ignorant on your behalf? Do you think it's fair to judge people on their tattoos they get or body modifications?
Naturally enough, in hotels, we're on stage. It's like theatre. It's lights, camera, action, appearance. That is, we all have to wear and conform in the hotel, and that's just the way expectation is from our guests.
Like, do you think that is right in any way as well?
I never thought about it because I haven't been challenged.
Yeah, that's fair.
Nobody's ever come up to me and challenged me like you are, to an extent, challenging me today, and you're saying, well, are you being ignorant? Are you being unfair?
Yeah.
And that's what I have to think about.
Yeah.
You know?
It felt gut-wrenching a little bit because, I've been turned down from a few jobs because of my tattoos, mainly in like the service industry, like restaurants and stuff. So it does feel like a kick to the stomach.
In a sense, it is discrimination against someone, and it's like, how can you discriminate on someone just based solely on their looks?
But because I represent a situation that I have to ensure that my customers don't sort of judge you, and that reflects on me because it affects my business. Somebody like you coming in might immediately cause me to think, because of the way I'm conditioned to an extent, you know, that person just won't fit in.
Did you say you were gay yourself?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm also gay myself. So I think, like, obviously, us being both gay, we both have that common ground, but, you know, there is people still in, like, the older generation, which I'm sure aren't completely accepting of us. So in a sense, that's how I kind of feel with tattoos. Like, it's like, obviously being gay is a lot harder than being tattooed. Like, there's no doubt about that. Being like, having to go through all the abuse and all that for being gay. And I'm sure like it was probably different as well when you were my age. Maybe it wasn't as accepting as it is now.
When I was reaching that sort of, you know, early teen stage was sheer misery because I knew I was different and I suffered horrific abuse and bullying, and just I lived in an environment where if you didn't play football and were one of the boys doing all those sort of masculine things, you were marked out for special treatment, and I certainly was.
To me, tattoos are kind of like a form of self-expression. I've been like an artist my whole life. I've always been drawing and stuff. So I kind of see my tattoos as jewelry. You wear them to make yourself look better or improve yourself. And like I said, they are a form of self-expression. So like I have a tattoo of my dog here, who I obviously love very much. So I wanted to get that because it has some meaning to me.
I got that from my dog because I love her so much. And then I have some Braille on my wrist. It's the year I came out, which was 2016. Some Chinese writing, which my dad actually drew for me. So he's really cool with the tattoos now. So it just basically means stay happy, because I think everyone deserves to be happy.
So that's how I kind of feel. I feel like a walking canvas almost. It's a collection of artwork. And I think if you're a lover of art and everything, it's definitely like a collection that you can appreciate, especially when you're older as well.
And what about when you get older? How does body art age?
Yeah, that's always like the topic of debate. People are always like, what are you going to look like when you're 70? But realistically, like at that age, I'm not going to really care about my appearance anyway.
But that's an assumption on your
Well,
part.
that is an assumption, yeah, sure.
I mean, I'm perilously close to the figures we're throwing out there.
Yeah, well, you're looking great, so.
And it means an awful lot to me because I have to look reasonably
Yeah.
well for what I do.
Yeah, of course, yeah. So I don't think you kind of grow out of that lifestyle. It's kind of like yourself. You're kind of into like your luxury stuff, the way you dress and everything. That's your kind of lifestyle. But for people with tattoos, that's kind of our lifestyle. So when you're older, I think you're still going to be you're just going to have to rock it, aren't you? Just going to have to live with it.
So my bow tie is my tattoo.
Yeah, that's essentially it.
I'd nearly be tempted. No, I'm not.
No, you should get one.
No, I'm not. Talk about stereotypes or perceptions. They would say, you'll never believe it. Noel Cunningham has a tattoo. It would make the local paper. Probably my family would die of shock. They would genuinely...
Die?
They would die.
Okay.
They would say, Noel, what did you do that for? You're going to lose your job.
Yeah.
You know, why did you do that? What do you believe in that most others don't?
Very passionate about gay rights, anything, just equal rights in general. I think we all deserve that. But I think religion, I'm not personally religious. Are you? Would you?
Yes.
You're religious? Okay.
Yes.
And how do you feel about being religious as a gay man?
Oh, now you've turned it round on me. My faith is very strong. I'm a practicing Roman Catholic. I believe God is there at every turn. I think he's ever loving, and that's key to it all. God, as long as God loves me, I'm kind of all right.
For me, I don't personally agree with it. I don't understand how someone could be gay but religious hand in hand when a lot of those religious ideas and beliefs are completely against your lifestyle. Does that make sense?
Yes, yeah. But then they're man-made. I mean, I see no problem in being a Catholic practicing and being gay.
Yeah.
No, not at all.
In your Catholic church, did you ever experience any like hate crimes because you were gay or anything like that?
Look, you spent your life experiencing negativity
Yeah,
and bullying and bad treatment.
for sure.
You know, it led me down a bad path to alcoholism and whatever. But I don't blame my faith for that.
Okay.
I blame, again, that's just man's interpretation and people making rules and people, you know, in you kind of challenging me about employing somebody maybe who's inked. Again, that's me acting and reacting to the fact that that's what my business calls for, you know. And therefore I have to, after today, think, well, how do we change that a little bit?
Yeah. So finally, what will you take away from this experience?
Talking to you has given me an insight into why people get inked. And it's made me look more at the artistic side and the beauty of it all. I have to confront some of my prejudices and
For sure, yeah.
biases, and nearly out of respect, I might even get a little one, a hummingbird on my shoulder or something, and I might even go to Jamie and get that done. You know, if there's a query passed in my direction that, oh, there's a lovely young girl come in, you know, she wanted that job and whatever, but she's love on her fingers.
Yeah.
I'd say, you know what? That's okay.
Oh,
That's
good.
kind of nice.
yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Even though it was such a short period of time, the fact that he's like open-minded or willing to get a tattoo now is like crazy, considering his views were completely shifted to what they were. So it is actually quite refreshing to know that like I've done maybe something positive in the world towards tattooed people, I guess.
Sitting here with you, I've definitely like been more open-minded to why you got into religion, and it is like nice to meet someone who is openly gay and is passionate about religion.
The one thing I've learned from meeting with the enemy is that even though me and Noel are completely different people, we're still very similar and we're both open-minded. It was really refreshing and nice to actually talk to someone like him.
Because it's changed my perspective that not everyone who practices religion is dickheads about it.
The one thing I learned from eating with the enemy was, deep down, I wasn't as respectful of individuality as I might have been. I was kidding myself. Well, I have to go in now to a church and light a candle for all the fabulous people who have beautiful artwork on their bodies.
And I'll attend it, so.
Yeah. And I don't think God is going to be up there judging me, as I wouldn't want to judge others either.
Of course.
And that's the reason for me wanting really to be sitting here with you today.
Yeah,
you
of course.
know.
Yeah.